day, everyone. I am Abu Michael, aka Ebu Miki, your online physics tutor. I shall be looking at conduction, convection, and radiation as method of heat transfer. Conduction. Conduction is the method of heat transfer of heat from one body to the other or within a body due to the transfer of heat by molecules vibrating at their mean or average positions. The objects through which there is transfer of heat must be in contact with each other. Conductor usually occurs in solid, especially metals, where molecules in the structure are held together by strong forces. This force is called the intermolecular forces of attraction. This strong force prevents them from moving freely, so they only vibrate about their main positions as they receive heat energy and thus transfer it to the surrounding molecules by vibration. In this diagram that you can see here, this represents the molecules of a solid, and that is an heat source. You observe that there is a change in color from red to blue. The red means that the molecules are very, very hot, and the blue means that the molecules are cold. But as the heat gets transferred from the left to the right hand, all the molecules get hot. This is how the molecules of a solid substance transfer heat by vibration. So, molecules that are hot, as they vibrate, they transfer their heat energy to neighboring molecules. Then those ones also transfer their heat energy to the molecules that are close to them. Eventually, the heat gets evenly distributed throughout the whole solid. Examples of conduction: when you heat a glass rod or a metal rod, and your pot of soup or sauce gets heated up by conduction. This is an example of conduction showing the heat source, the glass rod, and our hand. If you hold a glass rod while you heat it, eventually the heat transfers from the right to the left, and your hands start getting hot. If you do the same thing with your spoon, when you turn your soup, for example, you are going to experience your hand getting hot also. No wonder most of our spoons have an insulating handle so that the heat doesn't get to our hand, and we can turn our soup conveniently. Even though conduction occurs in metals, it does not happen at the same rate. Some metals conduct more than others. The ability of a metal to conduct heat is called its thermal conductivity. It will interest you to know that copper conducts more than aluminium. The diagram you see is showing two rods being heated by a metal source, a glass rod and a metal rod. Which of this rod do you think will get hot first? Or which of these two persons do you think will burn his hand first? You can put your answer in your comment section. I would like to see them. Convection is a method of heat transfer which occurs in liquids and gases by the motion of the liquid or the gas particles. Liquid and gas are called fluid. A very good example is when we warm or cook our soup, e.g. egusi soup. Egusi soup is a type of soup in Africa. The West Africans, the Cameroonians, the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, they actually love this soup. As the bottom of the pot gets heated up by conduction, the soup at the bottom warms up. It gets lighter and it moves upward. The colder soup that is upward falls to the bottom of the pot and gets heated up in turn. This up and down movement continues until the whole soup is warm or cooked, depending on what one is doing. Meaning, if you were warming the soup, then your whole soup gets warmed up by convention. And if you were cooking soup, then your whole soup gets cooked by convention. So this is what happens in your pot as the molecules of your soup move up and down in your pot. This is how your bubbles form. The upward and downward movement of liquid molecules or particles in your container. This is an example of convention in nature, the land and the sea breeze. If you look at the diagram, you will discover that on the land we have red arrows coming upward, and from the sea we have blue arrows blowing towards the sea. The red arrows actually represent air that has been heated up by the land during the day. As this air heats up, it warms up and gets lighter and moves upward. Then cold air from the sea moves to replace the warm air that has left the land. If you stay by the beach during the daytime, you are going to feel this cool breeze blowing across your face. You can try going to the beach on Saturday to experience land and sea breeze. Your room also gets warmed up by convention. For a properly ventilated room, as the air warms up, it goes out and colder air blows in through your windows and doors. But if a room is not properly ventilated, then the whole room will be very, very hot. That is why every house has a window and a door. Just imagine a house without windows. Everywhere just tight. They will be very, very hot and they can suffocate. This is another example of ventilation, where the warm air escapes outside and cold air blows in through the openings that are outside. Radiation. Radiation is a method of heat transfer that does not need a medium for the transfer of heat. It can pass through a vacuum or space. This method of heat transfer uses electromagnetic waves which transfer heat from one place to the other. The heat and light from the sun in our solar system reaches our planet using radiation only. Examples of radiation: heat from the sun reaching the earth, heat from an oven or furnace when we stand close to it, heat from our pressing iron gets radiated outward so you feel the iron is hot. Anytime you are close to any heat source, you feel the heat by radiation. Oh, this is an awesome example, where the pot bottom gets heated up by convention. Then the liquid inside the pot gets heated up by convection. Then you feel the heat around us by radiation. I'll take that again. The pot bottom gets heated up, the whole pot gets heated up by conduction because it's a metal. But the liquid inside the pot gets heated up by convection. And you feel the heat from the pot and the heat source by radiation. This is radiation reaching us from the sun. The sun is a long distance away from the earth, and yet its energy can reach us. This brings us to the end of the class. I will be uploading another video very soon. Please like and subscribe. And you can make your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much. I remain my humble self, Ebumiki.